Greetings everyone, welcome back, JLB, back with the second portion of my 3-portion, maybe 4-portion, final stop on the E3 hype train. It's the last stop, it's late, simply because of technical issues and difficulties and yada yada yada. But, let's keep going. Now remember that mindset I told you to get into at the beginning of the last part? We'll get into that mindset again. You're at CES. You're a video game news reporter. You want to write down great articles for your magazines. You're at the Nintendo briefing. You just finished watching the Super Gameboy showing, and you're ready to see what else Nintendo has up its sleeve. With that mindset in mind, as you just saw and heard, we plan to bring the SNES and Game Boy together in the form of the Super Game Boy. When you have the Super Game Boy plugged into your SNES, you'll be able to create your own borders that surround the screen where the action is taking place. But there will be 23 games that will take advantage of the Super Game Boy by creating custom borders for those games. From Daffy Duck to Yogi Bear to Power Rangers, Super Game Boy will bring all sorts of magic to the television, and we plan to start with the game that you heard that will be the first game with Super Game Boy in mind. Donkey Kong. Not only will this be the first game for the Super Game Boy, but it will also be the first game Donkey Kong has appeared in since Donkey Kong 3 in the arcade. But there's more excitement to come, because we have plenty of SNES games in mind for our customers. But rather than tell you myself, I'll let the video explain. We at Nintendo got one of the best Safari hunters around to track down the newest and hottest games for the SNES for gamers to enjoy. Here's what they found. Amazing discoveries. Fits in with the jungle motif.
When I got the call from Nintendo, I knew this wasn't going to be any ordinary safari. They said the risks were great, but the rewards were unlimited. So I said, sure, why not? And we set off, in search of incredibly big game for players everywhere. After a long trek and a fast chase that nearly wiped us out, we finally tracked down the elusive and long-awaited Primo racing game.
Stunt Race FX.
That's right. Stunt Race FX is in the bag. Has it been worth the wait? Just look for yourself. Since we last spotted this game, it's added more cars,
Which was in
more track,
93?
more crashing, more variety, and more play value. Following up on the sensational success of Star Fox, Nintendo now introduces the second generation FX chip.
Ah, yeah, that was the game that first introduced the Super FX chip to the Super NES.
Simultaneous play, like Super Mario Kart, plus more amazing 3D animation. There are 5 ferocious.
So this Super FX2 chip must be able to render more polygons.
Behavior and handling characteristics. Cars bend and stretch, seem to come alive as they claw for position on these wild, out-of-control courses. All this, plus 4 different play modes, 3 different views, and 24 raucous tracks, makes Stunt Race FX the most sophisticated and challenging race game alive. It's sure to leave Virtua Racing in the dust.
Pot shot at Sega with Virtual Racer.
Week 2 of the expedition. We made an amazing catch for classic puzzle levels. Tetris 2, for the first time on Super NES.
The sequel to the most beloved puzzle game ever.
The rainforest was the perfect camouflage for the newly enhanced
Colorful.
super vivid graphics and rich sound of this much-loved game. 8 megs of power makes this game come alive with new, colorful environments, strategic explosions, and reward cartoons between levels. Puzzle fans of all ages will go bananas over this advanced sequel to an old favorite. Our journey
I bet Alexei Pajitnov would be proud.
bigger game. Like many others, we had heard tales of a mysterious place that would reveal the secrets of time and the true nature of fantasy. At first, I thought I was dreaming. Then I realized I was in the illusion of Gaia. It's awesome adventure, swashbuckling action, intrigue, fantasy, and challenge. Talk to exotic characters, solve puzzles, and fight monsters.
Sounds like a traditional RPG.
As he explores mythical and legendary sites around the globe, where he must uncover mystic icons of a lost age. As Will's power adventure becomes even more spectacular when the flow of time weaves a future and a past into this far-reaching story, mixing with cunning characters and thrilling action. This huge 16-megabit game holds 3 battery-backed memory slots, so 3 different players can save their adventures. If you enjoy
Battery backup. Take that for granted today, don't we?
Really be dazzled by this jewel of a game.
Back in the 90s, the battery backup was a new thing.
The trek went on. Deep in the unexplored interior of the video game jungle, able to live in the habitat of NES and Super NES, we came upon Wario's Woods, an entirely new species of game.
Wario!
It's half action, half puzzle, and it's totally wild. Watch out, it's dangerous too, as the well-known villain Wario drops monsters and bombs from the top of the screen. An old friend of Mario's, Toad, now takes a starring role as he works to clear the screen. Like Tetris, Wario's Woods is a captivating puzzle game that keeps getting harder as you move through 100 levels of challenge. The real fun is going head-to-head against your friend in simultaneous play. Lower the ceiling on your opponent and smash him like a tarantula. This action puzzle game is a breed that's never been played before, and Nintendo has it caged. Week 4 of the expedition. We're really sick of the heat, the humidity, the mud, not to mention those obnoxious hedgehogs. I'm getting pretty cranky.
Taking another pot shot at Sega with mentioning obnoxious hedgehogs, because Sonic was all about attitude in the 90s.
Based on the winning arcade game of the same name. Boxing fans will remember Punch-Out from the NES version, but now Super NES offers enormous characters that virtually fill the screen.
Super Punch-Out.
Recognize some of your old favorite folks.
Piston Honda, Super Macho Man, ooh yeah, Don Flamenco maybe?
Unique moves, strategies, and wacky animations. This is not just a turbo button Punch-Out game. You need to be able to block and dodge and learn your opponent's.
He should have kept his left up.
It's survival of the fittest.
Come on,
in this
keep it right up.
hitting sports action game.
Super Macho Man wins by
It's
TKO.
all well and good around the safari campsite, but when you're being charged by a mean-looking rhino, better be a pretty good aim with a gun. That's why I'm
Tin Star.
a hot new target shooting game. Tin Star. I tell you, nothing against mangoes, but I'm beginning to yearn for the good old American wilderness. The wild, wild west. Tin Star is a robot sheriff who gets to shoot up the bandits.
It doesn't look like a robot.
Players get to aim using any of the Nintendo accessories, the controller, mouse, or best of
Using the
all,
controller,
all
the
along
mouse,
with
or the
Super
Super Scope.
Kids will love this game. Packed with lots of
Definitely a light gun game if I ever saw one. Just like Terminator 2, the arcade
Sometimes
game.
it's not aim or strength that you need. Just ask any gazelle. Sometimes you gotta run. For all you speed demons, I've got just one word.
Uniracers.
This game is uniquely fun to play. It's smooth, it's
Judging,
effortless, and it's
judging from this
really
footage I'm looking at, I'd say that the creators were inspired by Disney and Pixar's short film, Red's Dream. A short film about a unicycle who was basically alive,
twist, turn,
sort of.
and bounce. They seem to fly. Lots of levels and multiple play modes means a huge amount of potential playing power and endless variety. So race like the wind. Split screen action allows for 2-player simultaneous play. Plus, the game keeps track of both individual and group scores, promoting lasting interest and ongoing rivalries. As the sun sets on our last day of safari, I have to admit the guys at Nintendo were right. This has been an amazing journey. We've captured the biggest of the big games, and they're soon to be unleashed on the civilized world. As we tied the cages into the truck, I said, the game-playing world will never be the same again. But the Nintendo guy said, you ain't seen nothing yet.
And I'll just let that simmer in your minds for a little bit, because that's the end of part 2. Stay tuned for part 3, maybe part 4 as well, I don't know. But until then, happy gaming, and I'll see you all next time.